Hey there Armaholics, in today's video we're showcasing the mission Silverwind. It's a very interesting and enjoyable reconnaissance centered mission that caters for both stealth and action playthroughs, so let's dive right on in. Now before we hit the nitty gritty, Silverwind can be played single player or as a player hosted 4-person co-op mission. Dedicated server is unfortunately not supported, but the only dependency is a terrain called, well, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but Gosnebyenahud? I think that's right. I've probably butchered the pronunciation on that. But basically, it's a self-contained terrain. It doesn't require any more items to run, and it only weighs in 430 megabytes. So in Silverwind, you're dropped somewhere in Central Africa to conduct reconnaissance on suspicious CSAT activity, which may or may not involve secret chemical or biological research and weaponry. It's heavily inspired by British SAS missions from the early North African motorised patrols in World War II, to the regiment's more publicised missions such as Bravo 20's ill-fated patrol. The mission also has hints of Tom Clancy about it. So the actual premise is quite simple. You start in an operations centre and receive a short voice briefing. Well, it's text-to-speech, but it's not too bad, and it's arguably better than just looking at text on the screen. From here you can read your full briefing notes, hints, tips, and actually set the difficulty level. More importantly, you can customise your loadout. Anything you think you may need on your journey on this long patrol can be placed in the Jeep. This is going to be your transport, pack mule, and firebase. Basically your best friend for the whole entire trip. Now, the important thing to note here is that your primary mission is actually surveillance, so scoping out all the objectives from afar and taking notes of manpower, vehicles, equipment, routines, and possible enemy intent is the name of the game here. Or is it? Well, you could actually complete the mission this way, but you would miss out on some critical intelligence gathering and the chance to plant some listening devices, not to mention some good old mindless violence. Not only does Much Closer Recon provide more backstory, but it's also where the mission kind of comes into its own. Like on a real-world recon mission, things can go from 0 to 100 very, very quickly. You could be scoping out one of your objectives, then you return to your Jeep to deploy your included tent. From here you can actually rest up till darkness falls. Equipping your MVGs after your rest, you and your patrol start eliminating the outlying sentries on patrol. From here you move closer and start taking down standing sentries. You bide your time between each kill, knowing the interior patrol route from your earlier observations. You finally close in on what seems to be the command post, and at the last second you're spotted by somebody and the alarm is raised. You grab some intel and hurriedly interfere with the specialised equipment. All the while your radio crackles. Unknown contact, north, 700 metres. And before you know it, a helicopter is holding a search pattern above you, whilst a second is inserting well-equipped QRF units to deal with your incursion. You leg out the compound as quick as you can, regrouping with your patrol at a rocky outcrop or a nearby wadi or some other defensive terrain. The enemy is still hot on your heels and is gaining ground. Your patrol hunkers down, and with their weapons well rested and poised, they unleash a barrage of fire, cutting down their pursuers. But this gains the attention of a nearby, previously insignificant vehicle, as well as the predatory searchlight up above, and another running battle ensues. Of course, my dramatic reading to one side, this may not happen on your playthrough, but 100 and odd different things could happen. You might be able to get in and out undetected. You may decide to go balls to the walls and assault it head on. You may even opt to discover where these pesky choppers are actually stationed at and conduct a stealthy sabotage mission, or even a daring daylight raid to destroy these enemy assets, although I wouldn't recommend the latter to be fair guys. So therein lies the beauty of missions like Silverwind. They really highlight ArmA 3's strengths. Whilst they may offer scripted events or reactions, these events are conditional on what you as a player does or does not do. And of course, this is only at the mission design level. Couple this with ArmA 3's, sometimes questionable but unpredictable AI, and you have a pretty enjoyable, replayable mission here. Another great thing about missions like Silverwind, or missions in general really, is that you could have a casual playthrough solo or with friends, but then up the ante and have a more realistic experience. For instance, disable things like show players' location on map, get rid of your HUD and objective icons, and navigate the old-fashioned way. Because the mission was designed with vanilla assets in mind, it doesn't mean you can't spice it up with mods either. You've probably noticed on my more recent videos I've been using a lot of Bloodlust and Project Injury to bring the battlefield to life, or an agonisingly slow death. I know a lot of people like Ace, I don't see any potential issues with using it here. AI mods like VCOM may actually work as well, but I'd probably keep reinforcement and info sharing relatively low as to not mess with the scripted QRF units. All in all, I think it's definitely worth checking Silverwind out. It will appease both single player and multiplayers alike. Playtime of the mission is basically what you make of it, guys. The creator's description states 2 to 4 hours depending on playstyle, which feels about right. But guys, it's ArmA. I know some hardcore people out there who would RP the crap out of this and get a few more hours quite easily. And let's not forget some decent replayability if you want to go all in on the hidden intel or just try different tactics, etc. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this little spoiler-free mission showcase. If it's something you'd like to see more of, then please let me know. As always, I'd really appreciate a click of that old like button, and maybe consider subscribing, but hey, I'm not pushy, have a browse at my other content first. Like what you see, then hit, click, smack, slap, or whatever you crazy people do with that button these days. I've been HazBo, well, at least I hope I have, and you've made it to the end of the video. Well done you, an exercise in perseverance. Now go on, reward yourself, actually click that subscribe button, please. Bye!